What is going on, guys and girls? Today is Friday, April 10th. Thank God it's pod day, and welcome to Can't Stop Playing episode 6. I'm your host, Zach Ghost Robo, and joining me, as always, is a man living in constant fear because of his phobia that I found the name of. There is a news article.
What?
I kid you not. The article says, "The sauce of all evil. Student lives in constant fear because of her phobia of tomato ketchup." And your phobia is called mortuescus phobia, an extreme fear of ketchup. She has to leave the room when people eat it. Fear. She's 21. I think we should have her on the show. I'm going to drop the link to you guys now.
I think we totally should.
Yeah.
I think her and Gabe should actually host a podcast, Why Ketchup Sucks.
Let's boycott ketchup. No, but with me it's not just ketchup. I also hate all other condiments. But yeah, man. Cool. Hi.
God, we're not sponsored by Heinz.
Yeah, we got
boycott ketchup.
Gabe Altel. Gabe is in the house wearing his Green Bay Packer green, which makes me
Green with
sad.
Anger.
Yeah,
Green
makes me
with anger.
red with ketchup anger.
Ooh.
But we have some good battles ahead, me and you, Gabriel. Rainbow Six Siege is on the docket. Joining us from the other corner of the continent, a man who knows everything about figures and fame, Maxwell.
Wow.
Fame. Yeah, I mean, your nickname of Claw Max has become the most famous, prevalent name used.
Last night I was streaming on Twitch, as I do sometimes, and there was 260 people watching, right? And
Ooh, nice.
four people said, "Hey, why don't you live stream Claw?" And everybody was like, "What the hell is Claw?" Nobody knew what it was, and I told them I don't know how to find that game. Is it on Steam? I don't think it's on Steam.
I need to seek out if I could buy that IP. If it's like $100, I'll buy it and I'll make a mobile version of it.
Yeah, man.
Mobile Claw. That's our new ticket, sponsored by Can't Stop Playing, the mobile version of Claw. We actually got an email this week addressed to Cody, and Max, which I thought was absolutely brilliant.
Hey, we have some super creative listeners. Like the tweets that they make, even though they kind of burn my soul because they're sending me pictures of piles of ketchup, which is the grossest thing. And I hate it, and it makes my stomach turn every time. But I appreciate that it's coming from a hopefully nice place. They're not trying to make me puke. So.
I don't know. We got some offers as well of people saying that they would overcome their fears if you overcame your fear live on camera, and a lot of
What's their fear? What's their fear?
One kid said he's afraid of looking in the mirror. He's never seen himself.
Wow.
Is he a vampire?
I thought that one was really brilliant.
And I'm not trying to laugh at anyone's fear, but I can't see a situation where I would eat ketchup for someone to look in the mirror.
I mean, you never know. People do crazy things, and we have a crazy show for you today, actually talking about a pretty cool topic. Our favorite gaming characters of all time will hit the floor in the main event. We've got Rainbow Six Siege, LEGO Dimensions, a few other things in the opener, a new segment, the Lightning Round.
The Lightning Round. That's how you have to say it.
Every time?
Yeah.
The Lightning Round.
And I know this isn't question and answer type thing, but if it was and we got it wrong, then we should get struck by lightning.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat style, Raiden steps in.
Dude, we're gonna be going through hosts like you go through ketchup.
Oh, jeez. Poor Gabe. Also, make sure if you guys are listening to this on iTunes, drop us a review. It really helps us out and gives us a chance to move up in those rankings. In fact, Skittles Spartan did a fantastic job reviewing our show. He or she or the candy itself says, "I absolutely adore this podcast. Zach, Gabe, and Max are smart, entertaining gamers who keep me informed on what is happening in the gaming world. This podcast seriously gets me through each week of school, knowing there is this awesome 2-hour or so cast waiting for me on Friday. Keep up the good work, guys. Edit. I love that iTunes subscribers get short little bonus podcasts. Awesome work." 5
That's
stars.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you to Skittles. Skittles is a regular over here on Twitch for me and Zach. Actually, he was telling me about it. Skittles is cool. One other thing that we forget to mention sometimes, if you're watching,
I thought the whole brand of Skittles was following you. I was like, wow, that's a pretty big deal.
Me and Marshawn Lynch, we just hang out all the time, eat bags of Skittles. No, but if you're watching this on YouTube, it really helps a lot if you just go over to iTunes, look us up. If you want to subscribe. Leave a review. We're reading 1 or 2 of those a week, and it just helps us spread the word, get more viewers over there on iTunes. So that'd be just super awesome if you guys could do that as well. The support so far has been fantastic.
We do appreciate it. There's this weird video I wanted to show you guys. I'm gonna drop it in the chat now. It's like 15 seconds long,
Here we
and
go.
we'll put a link on the YouTube version if you want to check this out. This is a video that someone shared with me, and it was actually sent in by let's see, by Ethan. And Ethan, it's a video of a Samus
my God.
amiibo opening a Russian metro ticket gate. And he talked about like what if amiibos were really like some watchdogs like CTOS hacking devices that could just get us into like government buildings and
That
Yeah.
open the world.
that actually looks really cool.
What if it's just a plan by Nintendo to invade everyone?
Invade
They're like,
Russia.
keep buying the amiibos, my friends.
Exactly. Have you guys pre-ordered any of Wave 4, by the way?
On Wario, and that's it. Even though I said I'm not gonna get
Max. Max.
Max went on this big rant that
I
And he's the
know.
only person to buy one.
I'm just gonna get. Oh, Jesus, just Wario. If they make a Waluigi,
And then Waluigi. And then when
That's
you
it.
fall in love with Splatoon,
no, I don't. No, I
then the
won't.
new Zelda.
No,
and
no,
then,
no, I won't.
All right.
I
If you say
promise
so.
you. I hope.
all right, here's a little story that I wish I would have done now in hindsight.
Okay.
Mhm.
But all right, I was on Craigslist, right? I look around the video. I was looking for a game to see if somebody had it early,
Okay.
and somebody had posted custom amiibos.
Those
and-
are so amazing. I think
Yeah.
Max, you're the one that introduced those to me.
Yeah.
And I was actually gonna go buy a whole there was 4 Yoshi ones. There was a black one, a white one, there was a yellow one, and a red one. I said, man, Zach would like these. I'm gonna go get them for Zach. I said that to myself.
Mhm.
I text the guy, and then he was selling them for like $40, which is a lot. For a Yoshi amiibo. I mean, I get that it's painted, but whatever. And he seems super fishy. And at the end,
How did he seem fishy? Like, what made you smell the salmon?
like I told him, like we can just like meet like inside a Starbucks or like.
He wanted to meet at a fish market.
I'm super paranoid. I told him we can even meet outside the police department, make sure everything's safe. He's like,
Right.
no. He's like, no, you have to
Meet outside the police department. That's not fishy at all.
No, I don't know. That seems safe to me.
It
he's
is.
like, no, you have to come pick them up at my house. I don't like go. I'm like, no, I don't want to get stabbed. So that's the reason that I didn't go get them. I was
Oh
like,
man,
I got a bad feeling about it.
I would get a bad feeling.
That
too.
would be the worst like headline for a newspaper ever. Man stabbed trying to buy amiibos on Craigslist.
But yeah, I almost did it.
There's some really crazy custom ones. Like the girl villager, I think is incredible.
Yeah.
I've seen like some really good. There's some like
Did you see
Dixie
the toad?
variants.
The one that's made to look like treasure tracker toad.
Mhm, that one's
With the
really
actual
good as well.
working light, like the
Oh,
LEDs.
really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Amiibos are crazy things. Gabe, is Rainbow Six Siege crazy?
It's
In
not
what
great.
way? Good
It's
way
not-
or bad way?
It's not. It's
Both.
both. It's crazy in both ways. At first, Zach said he didn't like it. That's what it boiled down to.
So, by the way, you should preface this. The game is not out. You
Correct.
guys played the alpha, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's a
I didn't
closed
get a
alpha.
chance to get into
yeah,
it.
it's not even like a public alpha or anything. So it's crazy early, and I'm saying crazy a lot today. All right, so we
I told
played
you it
it.
was crazy.
The very first round, I went 6-0. I killed like not the first round, the first match. I went 6-0. Like I did fantastic. I was talking to Zach. He's like Zach saying I suck at this. Like I don't get it. Like this game seems like wait for someone to come through the door, shoot it. Like he was oversimplifying it. And I was telling him like, no man, it's so cool. Like I just went 6-0. It's fantastic. I had a blast doing it. And then like later on that day, I went back and apparently everybody learned how to play while I was gone. Because I did terribly from then on.
And then you're like, yeah, this game's awful.
No, I didn't say that, but I said, man, maybe Zach was onto something.
So it's like this is a multiplayer only, and it was revealed at E3.
Nope.
No, the alpha's multiplayer.
Okay, yeah, say that.
There'll be a single player in the retail version coming this fall, and I think now we know that this game is not probably getting pushed, and I would say the Division is the one that gets dumped into 2016. But the multiplayer, it's
You
it's
think
5
this
on-
is going to come out this year?
yeah.
It is.
Does it look like it's ready to come out this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
There's
this is
not a whole lot of like glitches or errors in the alpha.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
gameplay that I took issue with, but it's 5 on 5. Protect a hostage or get the hostage, and there's a lot of equipment and stuff that you can use in your pursuit of this hostage. So you can board up doors, you can send out little like RC drones, you can jam electronics. You can throw gas. Like there's a lot of. You can have a huge sledgehammer to break down barriers. You can reinforce walls. It's a lot about destructibility and using the environment sort of to your advantage. Gabe, do you think that you got worse because other people were getting really good, or because it's completely random in terms of you just run into people or you don't?
The reason I think I got worse was because the later on, like, nobody was using mics anymore.
Okay.
In the beginning, I was talking to my team. Like, I don't know them.
Yeah, you have to play this like they revealed it at E3, right?
Yeah, you really do. And
Hey,
if you're
John,
not,
we're gonna
and if
break
you're not,
in right now, going in on 3, 2, 1, right? You guys
Yeah.
did like voices and stuff. It was cool.
sort of.
Mhm.
And if
There's
you're
no
not,
party system, so we weren't able to play together in the
Yeah.
alpha at all, which is crazy.
That's
they said that they couldn't get it in the alpha in time. Like, that's coming. There's
Should
gonna
have been
be
their first thing that they did.
there's probably gonna be another alpha and then a beta, so we're gonna have more chances. But if you're not communicating, this game won't be fun to you. This is basically Counter-Strike. But you have
Except
like,
in much closer quarters.
yeah,
Like,
much closer. Yeah.
so to me, it felt so much like I either run into someone and they see me first and kill me, or I see them first and kill them. And I got the vibe that this is going to be a very esport focus, just in the presentation, like the screen, the 5 versus 4, 3 versus 3, the way it's all kind of done up, the many rounds, because this takes place over what, 8 rounds, 10 rounds,
It's like 5, I think.
something like that.
Yeah,
it has to be something odd so that you could always have.
Okay,
a
well,
winner.
I went into some like overtime crazy fest where I lost in round like 9 or 10. So, I think it's going to be marketed mainstream, but it's not. This is more hardcore and team focused than Evolve.
And
At least in Evolve, you could kind of run around and be like just a first-person shooter or be the monster by yourself. I don't see anyone in Rainbow Six Siege playing by themselves and having a good time.
You can. I was watching some streams. Some people are really, really good at it.
But having a good time doing that?
Yeah, they were super successful at it. Yeah, like they looked like they were having a blast. And the issue that I took with the way that you sort of, like, you even said, never mind. All right, because you said something. You're like, oh.
Say it. It's fine.
All right. Well, Zach said I'm already like reserving a spot on the top disappointments of 2015. I'm like, dude, this is an alpha. Like, we haven't seen like the single player. We've seen one game mode on 2 maps. That's it. Like, we haven't seen the variety of guns. Like, well, I don't know. There won't be a variety of guns probably. I think this is not it, but close, because it's separated by class and you can change the loadout on each class, but it is class based.
I think for me, like, games where you are inevitably going to require map memorization, you're going to require perfect teamwork and each person playing a role, you're going to require a sound knowledge of, like, okay, this is the wall we reinforce, this is the wall we don't reinforce. To me, I got the sense that this game will not have many of the random moments that, like, make Evolve to me palpable, where I don't memorize the maps in Evolve. I don't know the spawns. I don't know that. But there's enough of, like, a random roulette feel to it that I can still be successful. To me, Siege feels like General Joe and me are going to just suck at this game no matter what, because we won't have that, like, hardcore, deep game knowledge.
Yeah, and there's random elements to this.
But to be fair, that's kind of applicable to almost all online shooters. Like, if you don't know the maps, or like, in Call of Duty, it's like.
But Call of Duty, you respawn. This I found myself dying in 6 seconds and sitting for 3 minutes.
All right, and here's where my issue comes.
Maybe
in.
that's just because of
this
the game mode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is just.
But
like
is there
one
going to be a
mode.
team deathmatch in this?
I don't know. Give it a chance to. I don't know.
I doubt it.
Maybe. I don't know. I wonder if it's almost maybe a case of where, like, you have to learn the game, kind of like what you did with Evolve, where, like, you played it like you're playing Call of Duty, whereas you should have played it more like you're playing, I don't
Rainbow
know.
Six.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like, Rainbow Six has never been mega popular, but I feel like they're trying to hype this as mega popular, and I wonder.
No, I'm pretty sure Rainbow Six. Which one was it? Something.
Vegas.
Vegas or Vegas
2. Vegas 2 was pretty big, right? I remember.
Yeah,
But that was
pretty
much more of
popular.
a Call of Duty game.
Yeah, that's true too.
Wait, no. Why was it much more of a
Yeah, it was much more like just first-person shooter. I mean, yeah, you had some squad stuff, but not like this.
Dude, there was third person. Like, Vegas,
Yeah, it was
third person, dude.
There's a
There
first.
was, I think what he means, like, in terms of maybe gameplay wise, like, it was a
Yeah.
little bit more similar to, like, in terms of just run around, shoot, run around, right?
Sure.
Whereas this one seems to be a lot more leveraged around an objective, right? But
This game mode, yeah.
yeah, to be fair, also, like, the same was with Evolve. I guess it really comes down to final implementation,
Yeah.
Sure, if it's a disappointment for me, that it might be everyone else's favorite game of the year. I just personally, like Evolve, I was able to grasp right away, even though I never played it and didn't really know what it was at E3. This game, I felt so overwhelmed by systems, and I guess I'm the kind of person that wants to know, like, okay, if I throw this toxic grenade, how much damage is it doing? Should I really be sitting there waiting to click in, the remote toxic grenade, or would I be better off just aiming my gun and not having that knowledge of what is doing what? How much damage does a bullet do through a barricaded wall versus a reinforced wall
But you
versus
don't
a
know that in
hyper-barricaded wall?
what game do you know that in?
But in this game, it feels so critical because that is what you're doing. The entire game is about making this setup, boarding up this wall.
No, not the entire game. This entire game mode is.
But this is the mode that they're revealing and showing the game with, so this has to be emblematic of what the final product mostly is. Like, if they come up and say, it's actually Call of Duty, we just have this really crazy hardcore mode, that would make no sense.
Well, no, I don't think it'll be that. But I'm saying there's going to be variety. Even now, there's variety in where you hide the hostage, where you spawn, which entry point you, because there's like 10 entry points to the house or to the plane, whatever. Not 10, but like I don't know, 7 maybe.
Did you feel that mattered?
Sometimes, like
because you can let's be a little bit more explicit. Before the round, the attackers can use these drones to go and try to spot the hostage before the round starts. And I feel like if you have a knowledge of these confined maps, like you'll spot the hostage. I mean, unless they're doing a perfect job of killing the drones. I guess.
you can. That's the other thing. You can kill the drones. You see a drone, you kill it. They don't spot the hostage, then they don't know what room the hostage is in. There's like 5 rooms the hostage could be in. So while they're upstairs, you have the hostage downstairs. If you can like coordinate a way that you have a line of sight on the stairs, right? They're going up the stairs. They don't see you. You shoot them. Like, I mean, there's strategy to all of this. What way you choose to enter, because you can also rappel up the house, go in through a window. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do.
Did you have a lot of situations where the hostage was the one who, like, that was the end game, or were most of your matches like all 5 guys got killed?
That's mostly it. Like, the amount of times the hostage actually got like securely taken, maybe 3 times in let's say 15 matches.
To me, I played probably 5 or 6 matches, and it happened once, like, in all the rounds, and then to me it felt like we're a bunch of guys in a room, there's a bunch of guys coming out of a room, who can shoot the other person first? Because the actual, like, protect the hostage or get the hostage out didn't seem to matter much. It was just like, who can, like, I spy you, you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, then I wonder if playing with the full party would make that better. We don't know. There was no party.
Maybe it's one of those things that it's similar to Evolve, right? Like when you're with your friends, it's a way different experience than when you're on your own.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like this is amazing or anything. I'm just saying like I see what they're trying to do, and I hope that it's there for the final product. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying all I'm saying is let's not write it off right away.
And that's totally fair. I think it'll be interesting how they market this. Is it a big Ubisoft production, like we want to sell 20 million copies, or is it a hardcore shooter? Because I'm looking at sales right now. Vegas 2 worldwide shipped 2.39 million units, which is a respectable number for sure. That's across 3 platforms: PC, PS3, and Xbox 360.
I think Ubisoft is sad if this sells that now.
Oh, for sure. And just to show you similar games that came out around that time, Left 4 Dead 2 shipped nearly 4 million. Left 4 Dead 1 shipped 3.5 million. Bad Company 2. So I guess I hope Ubisoft doesn't come out and try to be like, this is the game for everyone this fall. Like, please make it clear that this is pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we've generally, just to kind of wrap up, I think generally we're seeing kind of an interesting trend in first-person shooters and shooting games, like with Battlefield Hardline and then now this, where they're no longer kind of interested in just doing the Call of Duty thing of like, hey, it's a deathmatch, run around and shoot each other. Now it's more like they pick like one focus and kind of like theme the whole game around that, right?
Sure.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we still do get like a team deathmatch like game mode in there.
Right.
But the theme, just like with Battlefield Hardline, there is regular team deathmatch like style, right?
Yeah.
But then the theme is more about the heist and the actual grabbing of
the only thing
and so on and so forth.
I'm sorry to cut you off, and whatever. People like just. And me too. Like, just bring terrorist mode back. That's all we want. Like, that's what made Vegas and Vegas 2 so fun. And did you guys play much of that?
Mm-mm.
I played Vegas 2. Yeah, I remember. It was fun. Yeah.
The terrorist hunt mode. Do you remember that? Like that mode where like it's just like big room or big area, and there's enemies in a set location pretty much, but the AI is so smart and they were so tough to do, and finishing them in co-op on a hard difficulty, it was crazy satisfying. I had tons and tons of hours of fun with that, the terrorist hunt mode. So if they bring that back, I'll be a happy camper.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's enough for Rainbow Six. The alpha's out there. I don't think any of us made videos for it, so can't say that. But yeah, a lot of Twitch streams about it. So
You know what else is out there, guys?
what's
A
out there?
brand new Lego game.
It's in another dimension.
Did you see that segue? That's smooth. I went like hot knife through butter right there. That
Wait,
was
whoa. You
like
mean
ketchup
a
through
knife?
Gabe's veins.
You mean a knife through hot butter, right? Why would the knife be hot?
the knife.
Slice the knife, like a slice the cold
knife
butter.
is hot so that the butter you can go through it easy.
So are you heating up the knife?
Yeah.
Is this a real thing?
I don't know.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna start a fire, put the knife in the fire.
Gabe, in Canada, they don't heat their food; they heat the utensils and the plates, so that then the food.
Yeah, it's scorching hot. Yeah, we cook the meat as you're cutting it with the fork and knife. It's like, you want it medium rare? What do you want? It's an interesting process. So
That's
ready,
great.
by the way, for Canadian backlash. So
we love Canada.
yeah,
We do.
but we got a brand new Lego game. It's called Lego Dimensions. This is going to be finally Lego diving into what we talked about, actually. Remember, like, 3 weeks ago, I think?
I think me and you called this, and then they listened to our podcast. Travelers Tells like, we gotta get on Zach and Mac's idea.
I think
I like how you don't even include me when maybe I said it. What? Do it.
Sure.
I don't think you did say it.
You didn't, but
all right,
sure.
all right.
Busy in cowering from ketchup.
Damn it, Zach.
Basically, this is going to be a Lego game that finally does the whole thing of Skylanders, Amiibo, and of course Disney Infinity, of where you're going to be able to bring your Lego figures into a digital world and then play with them within that world. So they announced basically a whole bunch of different properties. Right now it's all WB properties, so it's all kind of still themed for that. So for those of us that are hoping to see like a crossover between DC and Marvel, although it's still possible, I would be very, 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 very shocked if that actually happened.
Yeah,
so right now it's basically DC Comics, The Lord of the Rings, Lego Movie, Lego Ninjago, Back to the Future, The Wizard of Oz, which was probably the biggest surprise, and more to come. I wouldn't be surprised to see Simpsons and Turtles out.
Wait, I saw the Matrix mentioned somewhere. Is that not a thing?
Lego Matrix, Neo shooting all the other Lego characters.
It would be cool.
I saw
would
that
like to
mentioned
see that.
somewhere.
That would be fun.
Yeah, WB owns it. Somebody said something about the Matrix. So
I think maybe somebody suggested that as like an upcoming one. But yeah, thoughts? I guess this would be more like thoughts about the general toys to life category as well.
I think it's the most natural fit, and I love the fact that you're going to be building the stuff and then putting it in. Like, that's kind of a really interesting concept.
Yeah, because basically what they're doing different is that it's still Legos. Like, the minifigures are real Lego minifigures, so it's just the same way that you would buy a Lego, but the way that the NFC technology works is that they stand on a special, like, little brick. So that brick is, like, specifically the thing that you scan into the game. But the figures and the vehicles and so on, even the portal itself, is actually built out of bricks. So
I have a question then.
That's pretty cool.
I have a question. Since you seem to know a lot more about this, the technical aspects about this, I didn't even know that you had to build them. I thought you were just buying a figurine. All right, so let's say I buy Lego Batman. Can I just take that one little brick and scan it in with that and just have Batman still on my shelf?
I'm pretty sure, because I'm pretty sure that they're going to be detachable. So you could have the figurine as a playable thing, and then the base as a thing on its own. The only problem that you might come into is like mixing them up, right? Over time.
Do they all look the same?
There's got to be some like tied brick, because otherwise, what if I just got like a Robin figure and stuck it on?
Because they have like a sticker on top of the brick, like for Batman, it's like a bat logo and like great, so you'll know like, okay, that's.
So probably if I put like a Gabe Lego figure on the Batman thing, it would still pop Batman in the game.
Yes. So it doesn't scan the figure, it scans the base. So that's the key there.
What's cool about that is like, and the packaging to me is really interesting, because for the level packs and the toy packs and the team packs, they're very much marketing them as a like Lego box, I think, more than a video game box. which to me brings up the potential in the future for like, hey, here are 50 pieces, make your own creation, and it'll somehow, your creation will go in the game. I don't know if that's even in the technology, yet, but I thought it was cool that they're marketing it like a Lego more than just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Skylander.
That was very surprising. The only problem with that, of course, and that's kind of a thing they're going to be their big hurdle to get over, I think, is going to be the fact that because it's Lego's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was gonna ask, by the way, because this is your realm, both of you, more than mine. All I keep hearing is these things are way overpriced. I don't even see pricing for them.
Well, basically, the way it's going to work is the starter pack is going to be $99.99, so it's $100 for the starter pack right off the bat, which is going to be 3 figures, the actual portal, so like the gateway that you build,
and the Batmobile.
And the Batmobile, yes.
Yeah,
so and of course the game itself.
Yeah.
So the problem is you see right away when my kind of like, okay, let's analyze this in comparison to Disney Infinity or Skylanders, it's like, oh, that's $20 to $35 more, especially like at launch, because usually that one is $75, so let's say $25 more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why it's like that, I'm guessing, is because of the Lego element. Because if you've ever seen Lego sets, like even tiny little like sets of Lego cost like $50-$40. So I'm guessing because of the portal, like all the pieces for the portal to build it, then the 3 minifigures and the vehicle, that's definitely kind of that. I'm guessing that's why it's so why it's higher, and that's why I think it's at that price.
Is it weird that I think that's sort of a fair price? Because if the game's $60, the 3 figurines, let's say that's $10 each, that's already $90. Plus you get the portal and the Batmobile. Like, that seems fair to me.
You see, it's tricky because usually they sell like the little minifigure blind bags for about $3.99, so they're about $4. But those are unlicensed. So those are like Lego creations, whereas here you have licensing involved, right? So I'm guessing, because usually when you buy like a licensed Lego set, like the Lego superhero sets are more expensive than the Lego City sets.
Yeah,
Lego City is owned by Lego.
Yeah,
so,
it's just the fee that comes along with licensing or something.
Yeah,
that
so
makes sense.
To me, again, based on what you're getting, because it's Lego again, because the other cool thing is that you are getting Lego. So it's like you're getting like that
multi-use
that people like, right? Like, for example, as much as I love these are statues. They're not really toys. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to take this and go like, oh, here, let's have you fight Baymax and just smash them into each other, right? So, on the other hand, with this, you still maintain the minifigure, so you could go ahead and like build your own little thing, mix and match the parts on Batman with other characters, and you still get the actual Lego toys as well. So, because of that, I think the value is actually there. Now, discussing whether or not Lego's overpriced is a whole nother story, because
as a more of an expert on this thing, are they going to have, like, if I already own a Batman vs. Joker Lego set, am I getting anything different by buying this Batman? Like, is it going to look different? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I don't. From what I saw, like the Batman that they showed and the Wild Style that they showed, they look like the regular ones that are available now.
Okay.
So I don't see, like, in terms of like, oh, is this unique to Dimensions? It looks like the Batman outfit we saw in like Lego Batman 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they have figures that look like that already. So those are available. I just think, I guess, the cool thing about this is, the variety of characters that we may possibly be getting, because, for example, even with this, like, yes, we're getting some, like, Batman before we've gotten, and that's something that isn't particularly new, but you can get, like, a diversified bunch of characters. Like, we're going to get a Wicked Witch, and there's going to be all the Ninjago characters, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Marty McFly, for example, which is really cool. So you're going to get figures and minifigures that I don't think we would have gotten otherwise. You know what I mean? So even though most of these we have gotten before, some of them we have not, and some of them have such obscure properties that I don't think we would have ever gotten. So I think that the possibility is really in that, in the future expansion packs.
I have a couple of questions. All right, one, are these figures any bigger than the regular ones?
No, they're minifigure sized.
Okay, all right.
When they're standing on the brick, obviously they're a little bit taller. So
yeah, but like they're not Amiibo sized.
No. Well,
Okay.
some of them are probably right about the same size because some Amiibos are small. So yeah.
Sure. Oh, like Kirby's really small. All right.
Yeah.
The other question, they didn't say how much these figures are going to cost individually. Like let's say like a
Yeah,
variation
they're
of a
gonna
Batman.
have a level pack. I did a whole I did an 18-minute video, so cheap plug. You guys can go check it out. It's like a really in-depth breakdown of the story, the budgeting, everything. Basically, just gave like an in-depth opinion on everything. And the level packs are gonna be basically kind of like things that are gonna contain basically a level. I think a minifigure, a vehicle, and a gadget. So those are going to be the biggest of packs, and those are going to cost $29.99. Then there's going to be team packs, which is going to be 2 minifigures and then a vehicle or a gadget for each one, which those are going to be $24.99. And then the fun pack, which is the smallest of the bunch, is going to be 1 figure and 1 vehicle or gadget, and that one's going to be $14.99.
Okay, so there that is. That's what I was looking for. Like the more amiibo-like pricing, like
Yeah.
$13, $14, and you get
which you do get 2 things in. So
Yeah.
you get your minifigure and you'll get like either like an armor, whatever is applicable. So like if it's Batman, obviously it would be a Batmobile. Whereas if it's like an Ninjago character, it could be like an armor or a vehicle or so on and so forth. So
Are they doing all DC? Like, is there going to be a little Green Lantern figure?
right now, the 3 DC figures I believe that are coming as Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Batman.
Why Cyborg?
Because they're trying to push Cyborg like as being like a prominent DC character. I'm guessing that was from DC's side of things.
I think more
Plus,
than
he's a really fun character to play because you can do a whole bunch of gadgety.
Yeah, he's great, but when you think of DC characters, like
I know.
yeah,
But I think it's one of those things like they didn't want to give you all the big hitters right away
Sure.
because there's more expansion sets coming. So it's like I'm guessing. Look, Superman is definitely going to be in this. I mean, Metropolis is one of the places they show in the trailer, so I would imagine we see Superman at some point.
like how crazy. I'm sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm of 2 minds in this. One, I think the genius here is more in the execution and idea than anything else. Like the idea that you can take your Legos and put them in a game. Like that's the brilliant part. My only nagging voice in the back of my head says, okay, I could buy Lego Batman 3 and get all these guys in the game.
Yeah.
Why would I then want the separate? Is it just the
whole
inner
appeal? Yeah, I
meshing
think
of
the whole
worlds?
appeal of this is going to be the crossover.
Yeah.
Right? Like because here, I 100% agree with you that from a standpoint of if I'm a DC fan and that's all I care about,
Right.
I could definitely look at Lego Batman and get way more value from that. But on the other hand, you can't take Batman and bring him into the Back to the Future or take him to Middle Earth or.
Right.
Which is something, by the way, like with, let's say Disney Infinity, you're restricted to certain worlds. Like you can't take you can't take, for example, all the characters from the Avengers sets over to
Monsters Inc.
Yeah. So, and that's always been kind of a thing that I was like, that's why. Just let me play with like whoever I want, right? The whole idea is you're recreating a toy box kind of experience, right? Where you could have Batman interacting with so-and-so and so-and-so. So I think the appeal of this really is going to be the whole idea of it's a platform, and then from here, it's up to you how many worlds you get to interact together. So off the base, like right from the basic starter pack, you'll have the Lego Movie to explore, Lord of the Rings, and the DC Comics, right?
Are there different game modes, or is it still the same structure of?
It's from what
Lego
I've seen.
Foundation?
Again, it's still kind of like obviously this is only our first announcement, but
Right.
from what I've seen, basically the gameplay is still there's going to be still traditional levels like we've seen for the Lego games, like where you're solving puzzles and little cutscenes and so on and so forth. But you're able to take whichever characters you'd like into those worlds and have them participate in that process, which is pretty sweet. So
Do you think they'll have cutscene dedicated stuff, like, hey, Batman and Gandalf actually talking to each other?
Well, they have it in the trailer. They show them traveling through like the portal and such, and them interacting with each other. All 3 characters, which, by the way, you can scan up to 7 characters at once,
Insane.
which is like crazy.
All right, so we're gonna do an Avengers versus a Harry Potter Quidditch match.
Yeah, this is the hope is this. The hope is that if this thing is successful and if they can convince down the line, let's say Marvel to hop on board and such, imagine that's, I think, where it's like, that's when it's going to get really crazy, right? Like when you could have, let's say, Spider-Man and Batman finally working alongside each other, because we're not going to see it on the big screen, At least we'll get to
Sure.
play it out on our TVs. So
And it would be enhanced even further if they found a way to do some story-based
yeah, there's still going to
crossover.
be a story element because the whole idea is that there's a guy, I think his name is Vortex or Vortec, and he's like an evil mastermind trying to control these different universes, multiverses, and he's calling upon the bad guys from each universe to like help him. And then the idea is you have to travel to each world and stop that specific bad guy, but you can use different characters from different worlds. So
Sure. Yeah, I
that's
mean, if there's a way to like have eventually Iron Man and Batman talking to each other in a cutscene, I mean, that's probably
yeah, I know that
possible,
would be that's obviously like that's where it's the coolest part. So that's what I said. Like I was going to ask you guys if you thought, okay, what is the ideal additional property you would like to see added here? So the rumored ones are of course Simpsons right now and Turtles as well being added to this potentially soonish. So that would be kind of cool if we got Ninja Turtles and on top of that Simpsons. That'd be awesome. Homer and Batman. I mean, come on. That sounds like a pretty cool combination.
Yeah.
So, what property would you like? Probably Marvel, right?
Yeah, I think that's the obvious one. So we can pick one besides that
I
one.
mean, I think Star Wars comes to mind, but I've heard that's not.
Yeah, I don't think that'll happen. But
Yeah, especially.
Star Wars would be cool, like Batman with his space.
Is that not happening because of a licensing issue, or because they want to keep the world separate so they can still make their Star Wars dedicated game, their Age of Ultron game?
I think that's a licensing stuff. Like a lot of hands have to be shaken or shook for Marvel to say, okay, here you can use Star Wars and put them. You can put
For
Batman with Chewbacca. Yeah, like that's not gonna happen. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
so.
tricky because you see, we did see the characters appear in the Lego movie,
True.
so it's almost like maybe there's a possibility for that, but the problem really arises with something like Disney Infinity 3. If that's Star Wars themed, which it is rumored to be, then you're kind of
be
getting
both.
into a sketchy territory because it's like, oh, you're doing the same thing, Toys to Life, but Lego versions, whereas we're doing regular, like, kind of statue things. I think that would be legally a lot more difficult to find a loophole around. So I don't know. It's interesting because honestly, it's just the reaction in terms of like from the other companies is going to be interesting to see. Like, how do they treat this as a serious threat, or do they look at this as like, whatever? Because the Skylanders team and Activision has kind of said before with Disney Infinity, like, oh, they satisfy a different demographic, which is definitely interesting, but I guess we'll see how the whole thing unfolds over time. But yeah, overall, definitely exciting. The biggest, coolest part about this is that it is coming September 27th this year. So that means we're going to have 3 Lego games this year, which is unprecedented. Well, I mean, actually, we have like technically a few more because there's some DS exclusive ones.
Lots
But
of Lego. And
yeah,
this carries us.
but they haven't. By the way, for those of you that are like, "Oh my God, they just announced it," and they haven't. This thing has been in development for apparently almost like a few years already at this point. Because at least that's from what my information from the people that I've talked to and such.
They really just started development a couple weeks ago after we mentioned it.
It's been in development for a while. It was supposed to be announced before, but they were trying to like figure out more of a polished way to do this. So
do you know what isn't coming this year? And I know you're about to say something, Zach, but I'm afraid we're gonna forget about it. Deus Ex. I just wanted to bring it up super quickly. What do you guys think of the trailer?
I was gonna. Can I carry that into our next segment? Can I pick it up, throw it on my back, and
I just thought you were gonna forget all about.
I'm not gonna forget about Adam Jensen. This brings us to our lightning round, a new segment where we have a couple of quick questions.
Lightning round is what he meant to say.
Exactly.
All right, send in your donations so that we can pay Zeus to show up for our podcast. Shoot us with actual lightning. So.
Yeah, that'll cost almost as much as it costs to get Gabe to drink ketchup. For the lightning round.
Oh, you can drink it? Wait, how liquidy is it? It doesn't seem very liquid.
You can drink it.
Oh, you're fucked.
The lightning round, featuring 3 questions today, all of very. They all pertain to what we've been talking about, and I'll start off with the one that kind of ties into the Lego stuff, and then we'll get to Deus Ex and its glory in a second. But my first question for you guys today in this lightning round is which figure-based game series dies off first? Is it Amiibos? Is it this newly announced Lego Dimensions? Does Skylanders fall flat after a bunch of years atop the crown throne champion, whatever, or Disney Infinity?
So we think which one is going to like go away first, or are we talking about just generally the whole idea of Toys to Life completely disappearing, kind of like Guitar Hero and?
No, no, no.
Which one of these franchises, now that we
Okay.
have
Yeah.
4 major ones, which
Yeah.
one is going to sort of be a victim of too much competition and too much similarity?
And I think it's between an obvious two.
Which?
I think Skylanders, because yeah, they're cool. Yes, they're with your originator, but everything else seems to be doing better, at least public perception-wise.
Well, financially and the quality of the games, Skylanders does better. So
Sure.
Skylanders sells more in the US. Disney Infinity outsold Skylanders in Europe, but here it does better. And from a review standpoint, like Skylanders reviews like in like 8s and so on and so forth, whereas Disney Infinity I think got like 6s and 7s.
But the
Low
other
sevens.
thing that I'm putting into the equation is Skylanders is run by Activision, and we know their perpetual nature to just run things into the ground. So I think that's one of the obvious ones.
Okay.
And the other one is Amiibo. Not because they're doing bad.
Ooh.
They're doing great, I know. But Nintendo has this weird thing about them that they're not making enough. Like, people are going to get tired of what they're doing. Like, if Nintendo were doing this, like, you know, on the up and up, like, yeah, if you want, like, all these Amiibos, sure, go buy them. Why not? But they do these, like, fake shortages.
That's the brilliance of it, is that people want them because they're rare.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would care about Meta Knight if Meta Knight was at your local Walmart.
Yeah, exactly. So
because the reason why you know it's for sure, because the toy line, the Jax toy line for Nintendo, World of Nintendo, is on the shelves, easily, readily available. So
And
it's
no one
like,
buys it. Yeah.
I try. You know, you asked earlier if we pre-ordered any. I tried pre-ordering Jigglypuff. Didn't happen. I tried. They
Dang.
sold out in minutes. What do you want me to do?
I think it's Skylanders because it's the only one of the 4 that's not attached to licensed property.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
if you're looking at familiarity and mass market appeal, it's much easier to sell me a Mario or a Batman or a Mickey Mouse than it is to sell me a, you know, Gearhead or whatever the heck the new Skylanders guys are called.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. I didn't even mention that. But yeah, like Disney, crazy big. Like Nintendo, crazy big. Like they have the funds to just keep doing this. Like, not that Activision doesn't.
Well,
but
Nintendo has the funds because of Amiibo. Honestly, that's
Yeah.
their best going thing.
Yeah, at some point, like, you know, you go to the section because they kind of all group them like together, like in the same aisle. Like when you go to the store, like Skylanders are next to Amiibo or next to Disney Infinity. So you take your kid there. He's gonna see, like you said, Mario or Batman. He's gonna pick that instead of, I don't know, Spyro Jr. over there.
I think it's tricky in terms of, like, the biggest element, the biggest challenge is, I think that as a whole, like in terms of polish and gameplay and so on and so forth, I think the Skylanders is the best one.
Yeah, I would
Because
agree.
I think that because they don't have a license, they get to be way more wacky and like crazy, and they don't have as many handcuffs. You know, like they don't have to get the approval of the licensor and make sure, okay, is this okay? Is this, like, you know, not stepping on any toes? Is this fitting with what you're asking? So I think that out of the actual games, I think Skylanders has the most potential to continue to get better and better as a game, because honestly, those games are good as games. Like, they're genuinely well crafted. They have interesting upgrading systems and mechanics that are different for the characters, which is unique. I think that Skylanders, the biggest thing for Skylanders at this point is oversaturation, not of Toys to Life, but of Skylanders.
Yeah.
I just think that they got a little bit crazy with how many characters they made. And I think that, honestly, even this year with Disney Infinity, we're going to see them pull back, and they're not going to do as many figures. I just think that, again, like what we said with the licensing, it's hard to convince somebody to buy
They also
40
made
unknown characters versus 40 Disney characters.
They made a weird choice too of making them. I mean, it's sort of like a counter. As they got better with the gameplay, more innovative with the figures, they almost hurt themselves more, because now you've got some Skylanders that swap out, some Skylanders that they're not all the same. Whereas I feel like Infinity, Amiibo, and probably Lego are going to try their darndest to keep everything very standardized. So whether you're in year 2015, year 2017, you will be able to have this collection. I can't go back and stick a new Skylander into Skylanders 1. It doesn't work like that. So I think that's also a little bit of a handcuff there.
Yeah.
Moving to round 2, though, of the lightning round here.
That was a long lightning strike, by the way. We would all be
really,
burned.
It's a really long lightning strike. It was a Oklahoma-sized lightning strike. We'll get to the Deus Ex in the final round, but mid-round is Bloodborne has sort of proved to be the highest-rated game of the year thus far, and the next big hitter on the radar is Witcher 3 for a lot of people. Do you guys
Mortal
predict
Kombat
that? Well,
10.
Mortal Kombat. I guess I'm just talking like single-player, like
Okay. Yeah.
main
Yeah. Sorry.
type
Yeah,
city
yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
But Bloodborne is sitting at 93 on Metacritic right now, which is insanely high. Rivals Mario Galaxy and GTA. Do
Yeah.
you think that Witcher 3 can come out and beat those reviews, or will Bloodborne hold the Metacritic crown?
I think Witcher doesn't get that high. I think if Witcher does, it'll probably be like really high 80s. I don't know. I just feel like the difference is that Witcher is not as specialized, you know what I mean? Where I think that the reason why Bloodborne is doing as well as it does is because it's so niche. Like, it's so specifically attractive to this one audience who gets it, and then it's really, really satisfying, you know what I mean? And it's done super well to that niche. Whereas I don't think that Witcher is a lot more broad. So
Yeah.
Witcher is going to be compared, like, for example, Bloodborne is compared to Souls, which isn't a huge pile of games. Whereas The Witcher is going to be compared to The Witcher, to Skyrim, to Dragon Age, because it's a similar styled game. And as a result of that, I think that you're unable to excel at the same level as you would with something.
It's
a
like a
little more
mechanics-driven game like Mario. You nail the controls, you nail the levels, boom. You nail in Bloodborne the controls, you nail the mechanics, you nail the combat, boom. Witcher, you got story, you got characters, choices, variety, and there's so much more at stake. And GTA manages to wrap that all into a high 9 package, but it is a lot trickier.
I don't think that GTA and Witcher are on the same level in terms of like when you say GTA and when you say Witcher, Witcher is specific to a gamer audience. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, Witcher is awesome, but General Joe doesn't know what Witcher is.
Yeah,
he knows what GTA is.
See, but the question was, does it review as well? None of that matters.
I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I said I know what you mean. Like, it could get similar. I like. Don't get me wrong. I think it's going to review very, very, very highly. I just don't think it's going to review as well as Bloodborne.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but I don't expect it to. The more important question, I think, then becomes, does anything review higher than Bloodborne? I hope something does.
I think Bloodborne's maybe not game of the year, but highest reviewed game of the year, hands down. No chance.
Well, if you're
chance.
going to take into consideration GTA on PC again, if that
No, that doesn't
get
count.
reviewed high.
That doesn't count.
I don't think anything comes close.
Really?
Yeah.
Not Metal Gear, not Tomb Raider. Like, there's a lot of stuff coming.
I think if Zelda came out, maybe, but other than that, just knowing how reviews go. I mean, I'm predicting Halo 5 is going to appease some people, and some people are going to be like, we want Bungie back, mid-8s. Tomb Raider, it's not for everybody, mid-8s. Metal Gear, people will take umbrage with Kojima's insanity, 8s. 93 is really high. Like, that's maybe an indie game, but
it's
mainstream-wise.
really interesting to me. Like, well, I don't want to get on a giant rant, but basically it's just interesting, like what we said, that games that have so much more to nail get lower ratings than a game that just nailed a few core mechanics really well. So
what we talked about was Axiom Verge last week, like that kind of retro thing.
And just to bring up something small, just like this again, right? Pillars of Eternity is sitting at a 90. That thing came out like recently. Like, what if it's just like a little no-name game? Not that Pillars of Eternity is a no-name game, even though it sort of is. Like, what if something like that comes along and gets like a 95? Like, it's possible, I said.
Yeah,
I guess I just don't count that.
In terms of also, like, because how many people reviewed and covered Pillars of Eternity versus how many cover, like, Bloodborne or Witcher?
The numbers are right here. The Metacritic for Bloodborne is based on 80 critics. The Metacritic on Pillars of Eternity is based on 48 critics.
So I think it's also really interesting with those kind of games. You put a specific person on the Pillars of Eternity review. You put a specific person on the Bloodborne review. A Watch Dogs review, a Witcher review might get. It's like you're almost reviewing to that base, and that we talked about that last week. Like, how do you determine the review? So it'll be interesting to pan out. Round 3, the final round. The lightning is. It's really heating up on all sides. What did you think of the Deus Ex trailer? And more importantly, do you think it comes out this year?
No, it doesn't come out this year. And I feel like a fool. I told you this just yesterday, Zach. Like, I feel like a fool, man. This all CG trailer shouldn't get me excited because it's all CG. Anybody like can do that with the money. And I'm like, man, the hype is already starting to build, and we don't even know when this thing's coming. It might come out this year. Who knows? They've been working on it for a really long time. I'd be super pleasantly surprised if it does come out this year, but it got me really, really excited. I think Human Revolution was like super awesome. I don't know. How'd you guys feel about that?
Did you play it, Max?
Yeah, I've played it.
Okay.
I didn't finish it. I don't know. Like for me, it's not really a big franchise that I'm like, yay, super hyped for. You know what I mean? Like again, it's just a personal preference thing. Like
Yeah,
certain
absolutely.
huge franchises that I'm not that excited for. So I can't honestly say that I'm too excited for this game. If I do play it, it probably won't be at launch. It'll probably be like a thing that I play like later, when I have time for something. Unless if it's just absolutely stellar and people say that you must play it. So in that regard, I can't I don't want to fake like, yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, so as far as if it comes out, I really don't think it's going to be coming out. And Magneto agrees with me, so
Yeah, that's what that's what I was getting at.
Magneto agrees.
It's a super.
'cause he was hitting his vinyl pop on the screen. You didn't see it.
Well, yeah, it's the Vinyl Pop bobblehead Magneto. He's awesome. So I was just doing that. To me, Deus Ex isn't like AAA, but it's a like really good AA game. Like that's the way I see it, and people might take issue with that, but like it's never like sold like AAA numbers. Like the awareness isn't there. Like you're not gonna see, I think, trailers for Deus Ex during the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh no, I mean, if you look at, it has more popularity than Thief, which IDOS made previously, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be major. I played Human Revolution all the way through, and I liked it. I felt like it was a game that was held back by the technology. That
Absolutely.
They wanted to have this massive experience, almost like Skyrim, but in a sci-fi shooter, and they just did not have either the time, the dollars, or the power to make it happen. I hope that it's able to happen here, but you're right. It's not something I think that crosses into like Super Bowl ad territory. They have a box art. They announced it with a pretty big reveal. There are screenshots out there.
It looks pretty.
Could this be a game that does its rare, announced and released in the same year? I give it. I
It's
think it has a
interesting
lot
though,
of
like
chance.
how we're seeing this trend of more and more games getting revealed before E3, right? Like it makes me think about E3 in kind of a dual-sided way of where either there's so much stuff that like they can't even fit like this type of reveal into it, or E3 is going to be very, 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 very boring this year. You know what I mean? So
I hope it's a former. Like you don't want a boring E3. So
I'm hoping that it's just that there's so many announcements that they just don't have time to like fit it into like, let's say PlayStation's reveal or.
Yeah, and I think it's
Microsoft.
like they want to sort of carve out their own. We just said Deus Ex is not going to be a triple mainstream thing, and I'm guessing Square Enix, their publisher, parent company, whatever, is focused on Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts.
Any clue how much the first one sold? Like your keyboard is much quieter than mine. That's why.
Yeah, I'll pull up a sales figure of Human Revolution. I mean, it reviewed insanely well. Like we're talking 91 on Metacritic,
Wow.
Which is
I love that game. Yeah.
really, really good. This is let me see. It sold 2.18 as of 2011. Granted, this game came out in what year? 2011.
So let's say round it up to.
So probably like 3 million by now.
Which isn't bad. I mean,
No.
those are great numbers.
Yeah.
So I think that could be a nice get if it does release. I mean, if we got Deus Ex coming out this year and Bethesda goes all in with Fallout this year, all of a sudden the fall is shaping up to be a whole lot more special than maybe we thought.
And that's what I hope. But who knows?
And we found out about Black Ops 3.
Yes, Black Ops 3
So,
just
yeah,
announced
that's
today,
coming.
which I think doesn't surprise.
Yesterday. Today's Friday, Zach. Today's
True,
Friday.
yesterday. Time Warp. I think Black Ops does a Time Warp thing as well, giving us future and World War II gameplay. Because I don't think they can go back. I think that would. You can't play Advanced Warfare and
Well,
then
a lot
remove
of
all
people
that.
have wanted to see like a World War II game again, so maybe.
Yeah. We
they'll
gotta
just
go
do
back.
that.
Multiplayer would feel so weird. Like
Yeah, I would.
remove all the. I mean, I've been pushing for a like Stone Age combat game or like a World War One like super like throw the rock, click the rifle.
Reload your weapon for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's a weird franchise as well. Like people clamoring for World War II after a couple years ago, people were like, "Never show us World War II again." Like,
Well, it's because there was too much of it.
Yeah. All right. So the excitement for Deus Ex not crazy high for you guys at all. Well, Max said that he'll play it later, so I kind of got his perspective. But Zach, you're not like.
I'm hyped for it.
Yeah, that sounds really hyped, Zach.
I guess I'm.
I can't wait to see what you sound like not hyped. If that's hyped.
I'm confused about if it's gonna be a choice-driven game or more. The boss battles were terrible in that game.
Oh yeah, the worst.
And so if they can nail the mechanics and make it play really well, then it's like my dream game, a shooter that borrows RPG elements, choices, character management, leveling up, beautiful. But I don't know if Eidos can pull off. I didn't like Thief. I don't know if they can pull off the mechanical side of it.
Okay.
I think the world's cool. There wasn't a lot of variety in Detroit of the future, so this one is promised to go to many more locations.
Just like there isn't a lot of variety in Detroit of the present.
Not a whole lot. But the main event is a much more beautiful place than future Biotic Detroit. So today's topic, we're discussing our favorite characters of all time.
Of all time.
Gaming characters.
Now, of course, yeah. Let's preface this with the gaming characters because the problem is I would just pick Batman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Batman doesn't count, even though Batman has games. He doesn't count.
Yeah. We have to pick characters that were born and live
Raised in
within
games.
gaming. Okay.
We're doing 3 each. Is that what we're doing? No.
I thought we were.
All right.
Just go with it.
Sure,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to start us? Go.
I have one.
Go.
I have one ready.
Go.
Snake.
Snake. Solid Snake.
Yeah, Solid Snake.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I
That's one of mine too, but go ahead.
Oh, I took him.
Yeah.
Do you have Snake on yours, Zach?
No, not a chance.
Really?
Old man with a mustache and a cigar doesn't appeal to me.
Dude, when I played
he wasn't an old man when you
wasn't.
the franchise.
My first Metal Gear was Metal Gear 4, so
See, that's the problem.
There you go. There's your problem.
See, when I played Twin Snakes, I was like, man, how cool would it be if this were real? Like, if there someone like this existed out there. Like, man, I think, and I know Solid Snake, Twin Snakes, like, I get it. Like, there's a lot of variations of Snake, also Big Boss and things like that. It gets really confusing. But I think just this, when I say Snake, the Snake you envision, that's the same one that I think a lot of people envision. Also, when he was in Smash Brothers for the Wii, I think that was great.
Such a weird, like, remember that Snake Smash Brothers.
I don't know. I just think he's a cool character. To me, he was like a character that was just like cool in terms of like he was this like ultimate like spy tech gadget, like, you know what I mean? Like he was like what to a lot of people like who love like the Splinter Cell games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like to me, he was like the ultimate version of that. You know, just like this amazing, really really cool spy that just takes everybody out silently. Like I always looked at him as like this really really cool and nifty character, as like this ultimate spy version of almost like what are they called, the Bourne films, I think, or whatever they're called. Yeah, so he's like that kind of crazy cool.
And aged so tortured both figuratively and literally. Like at the end of Metal Gear 4, the one that Zach played, I don't know if he finished it, like, you know, when they say take a rest, like, you know, you deserve this, like
crawling through the microwave.
Yeah, like, man, like that was a touching moment for me.
Yeah.
Like I love Metal Gear, so Snake's
The
a
only
big one.
problem is he has been kind of treated like he's been in a washing machine lately. You know what I mean? Like that's like he definitely has not. I think his peak is already behind him. I hope maybe who knows, maybe with the new game he comes back to glory, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like the best elements of that character have already been explored.
Yeah, and to be fair, this is like the last, you know, quote unquote Metal Gear. Like Kojima's never
Until
made
the next one that.
Well, no, Kojima's not gonna have a part in it. So to me, like this is the Metal Gear swan song. Like, granted, it being good, like this is it. Like, man, my height levels for this game are at an all-time high.
9,000?
Like, yeah, over 9,000.
Okay, that's
way
good.
over. All right, but somebody else throw a character out there.
The only thing that I can think about with Metal Gear, it literally like scarred my mind, is the end of Ground Zeroes when you find out that the girl had a bomb like shoved inside her.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I said he's.
what if Snake has a bomb shoved inside him, and that's how the game ends? Press X to detonate, and you're just like sacrifice, and it's a nuke, and he blows up whatever the big ship is called. what's the ship called?
And then it's just a troll
Outer
thing
Haven or
with
whatever.
Kojima. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm not actually done. 3 more games coming up next year.
Yeah.
How does that part in like Metal Gear 4 when you return to Outer Haven not like cause like tingles in your body? Like if you've played the old.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a big fan, I mean, I think you have to have
Tingles in your
attachment. There's very few characters to me that stand out like outside of their game world or
Yes.
outside of their
Yes, I agree with you.
universe or whatever.
Yes.
A couple just brief ones that I want to bring up. Thane from Mass Effect 2, I thought his character design was just amazing. He is the green guy that you acquire your party. He's got like kind of a scaly face.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing character. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up sort of my girl crush category of characters. So we're looking at people like Princess Zelda, Riku from Final Fantasy X. What's the girl's name from Kingdom Hearts?
So that's
Kari.
all just purely
Yeah.
on the looks, right?
That's all just like my 13-year-old self, like
Okay.
Yeah.
Princess. Yeah.
We have such a different like. We're coming at this in a different way. You're saying all
Yeah,
these
very
guys,
different.
and I'm thinking Snake. I'm thinking Link. Link is the other one. I know
Well,
Max.
No, I don't have Link.
Okay.
I don't because I don't know. I feel like Link. You see, the problem is who's Link?
There's like a million links. That's
No. Well, I mean, like he's such a like undefined character. You
No,
know?
he's a guy trying to save the
doesn't talk.
world.
I
No,
know,
he
but the
doesn't.
problem is it's such a vague characterization. Like I don't think of like. Are the games that he's a part of great? Yeah, same with Mario. But I don't think of Mario as like this character that is like, oh my god, I really love the character of Mario. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's really hard for me to attach myself to that character. With the Mass Effect theme, I think Garrus is the best character from Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
I never liked him. I don't know why. Everyone seems to like love him. I always
Garrus
thought he
is
was
great.
annoying.
I don't know. I really love Garrus.
Yeah,
He's just
Garrus
like
is
this awesome character. Just he's like a character that you could totally see on like a TV show or like on one of the TV shows. Like I always thought he would be like a perfect fit in like Firefly or something like that. You know, like of just like this really cool sniper dude. So I don't know. I really liked his character a lot.
That sequence in Mass Effect 2 where you're first introduced to him again and he's sniping and you don't like know that it's him.
You don't know that it's him.
cool.
Yeah. He's just a really neat character. So he's one of the characters for me. The two characters I have, like what you kind of have, like in terms of like Link and Mario, I guess would be kind of like the equivalents would be Kirby and Waluigi.
And Claw. Don't forget about Claw.
Oh, yeah, Claw's got a special place. Like in a whole other echelon of characters. But Kirby, I don't know what it is. It's just such a weird looking. Like he's just so obscure. Like you can never tell if it's a he or a she. He's always like in this like
It's
most
a he.
bizarre. Yeah, I know, but he's like in these bizarre adventures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember the TV show I used to watch. That's probably a part of why I like that character too. Is like there was this cartoon that I watched before I went to school always with him, and I always found him to be like this obscure character because he never talked, but he always like he just eats everything. I don't know. He's just such a bizarre character. And then speaking of bizarre, you don't get much more bizarre than Waluigi. He's just like this character that seems like to not fit into the Mario world. Like he should not be there at all.
Dude, and that's what I don't understand. I am like at a loss for your love for that character. I don't get it.
Because he doesn't fit. Like he's like this old dude who shouldn't be there. Like you have all these like adorable, colorful characters, and then you have this like guy with like hunched over. Like he just does not like. Come on, he doesn't fit. Like look at him.
We
He
can't
just
see
looks
that
like a
look.
weirdo. I'm sorry.
He does look weird.
Yeah,
My
he's just a
question
weird
is,
character.
why don't they have Mario instead of Wario and Peach and Toad? That I want like a full-on Wa game, like
Wa
that's
something.
my dream, like Bowser
That would
and
be awesome. And
Daisy.
it's inverse. Like Bowser's the good guy. You
Right,
play as
yeah.
Bowser, right? Oh, that's a good idea. They should do that. I would totally be down for that. Nintendo, get on that.
On the Mario train, like I know most people like Mario, and I actually find a lot of people that hate Mario, but I have a sincere love for Mario and Luigi. I think they're sort of just comical reactions, especially in the RPG games. The handheld ones in particular, just the way Luigi
Well,
is.
that's where we get to see their characters.
Right, where Luigi is such a wimp. Like Luigi's Mansion even reveals some of that, and Mario is like the strong, sure guy. I don't know, like I grew up on Nintendo, and so for me, those two will be like my Snake, I guess. That I could
This
just
explains so much.
I could just list off the Amiibo line. That's my favorite characters of all time. You got Samus, Mega Man, Pikachu, Sonic. But in all seriousness, oh wait, I can't forget I gotta throw Dixie Kong into my girl crush category, by the way.
Get out of here, man.
After that, in all seriousness, like I know Joel and Ellie is kind of like the current touchstone for great characters, but to me, I like the team of Booker and Elizabeth better. I like
the team of Lee and Clementine better.
Okay, so we got there's some really good team ups. Booker and Elizabeth for me, even though Booker you don't see him, he's first person constantly. I love the fact that I like when my main character has a voice versus me being that voice or being Gordon Freeman or being Link or whatever. Like I love when there's characterization for who I'm being. I can attach better to that when they already have emotions, feelings, backstory, than just put it on this man because that's weird for me. So the interactions between Elizabeth and Booker combined with the story, it's interesting how we're picking some characters that have no story.
Yeah.
Mario's, Waluigi's, and some characters like Snake who have insane story. Big Daddy's another one for me from Bioshock.
Well, they appeal to you in different ways. I think with Booker and Elizabeth, I really liked Elizabeth, but I wasn't a big fan of Booker as a character. Like,
you know what? I'm
he didn't shine to me. Whereas like with in The Walking Dead, the Telltale games, like I mentioned, Lee and Clementine, I think that was like one of the most like best. I think the reason why that whole game stands just on their relationship, right? Like that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. And I think it's quite possibly, in my opinion, the best realized kind of like arc of characters over the span of 5 episodes of what these characters go through. I mean, Clementine, well, spoiler alert, Clementine's adventure continues, Lee's ends, but it's just really, really interesting to see these two characters and how, like, what do they go through, and especially, of course, Clementine, like, she evolves more so, I think. But
her total empowerment in season 2 is like a totally different arc.
Yeah, but I just recently replayed or have been replaying season 1. I'm going to be getting to season 2 soon, but I just feel like those characters are so well written and just, I don't know, they're just really well realized characters that are you can definitely kind of see yourself in them in certain situations, or like how would I act in that situation?
Are you guys Kenny fans?
I'm not, but
he seems to be mega popular.
I just feel like he's a character that's too extreme.
That's what I was gonna say. He doesn't seem realistic to me at all.
Yeah, he's a very extremely like on one end or the other, you know. So, and again, I guess that's realistic because there are people like that in real life, right? Like it's very black and white kind of people. Like it's like you either love it or you hate it, and that's it. And there's no like, well, I can see the good qualities about it, but I can also.
I think it's interesting because they put him in there almost as the point of conflict, where Clementine or Lee are more observing the story and progressing through. Kenny sort of seems like he is specifically there to be a plot device, and maybe that plays a little bit into it as well.
And some characters need to be plot devices. That's just a thing. But I'm surprised no Nathan Drake mentioned. I thought
that's my last character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he is our Indiana Jones. He is our.
He is.
Like I know that some people would say, "Oh, what about Lara Croft?" Right?
She could throw her in there too.
But you see, the problem with Lara Croft is like I feel like I like only in the last game have we seen like some actual like characterization for her.
Sure.
Before that, it was like she's a Tomb Raider.
Well, plus Drake is in charge. Lara is almost always a victim. Like, oh my God, I'm in this dark cave. I have to get out. Whereas Drake's like, I'm going to find this treasure.
Yeah, she has a much more like. There was obviously a lot of claims about sexism and so on and so forth.
Which I hope they switch up this time.
We'll see what they do with the new game, but I just don't think that character is like the way I see her in my head is not what we end up seeing on the screen. You know what I mean? Like it's not really the same character. Whereas with Nathan Drake, I think he's like our like the ultimate kind of adventure character, the ultimate fun exploration, all over the place, wacky storyline kind of thing going on. So and with that in mind, I guess look, you could pick a whole bunch of other characters like Jack and Dexter or Ratchet and Clank, who kind of also satisfy that kind of exploration and thing, but they're not human. So I think maybe that's why I'm not like they don't resonate as much with me. You know,
Kirby's
like I love those
superhuman.
characters. I know, but I said already, Kirby and Waluigi are the exception.
Anomalies.
Yeah.
What's the Master Chief
Flaw.
feeling on this panel?
Never been a fan of. Master
I don't get
Chief.
why that story and that character gain so much love. It's the most generic thing ever of like super soldier saving the world from aliens.
Yeah. I think you're talking to the wrong crowd here. I don't think any of us are like crazy big into Halo. I know a lot of people are or were or whatever, but I don't think any of us are those type of people.
I don't know. I don't think that world was ever that interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like not just even him, but just that whole world. It didn't feel like it always felt like we're only getting like 2 windows into a whole building. You know, like we only got like those perspectives of the 2 main races, but we never actually got like a fully realized world. Like with Mass Effect, I think it was like one of the most successful games of feeling like Star Wars or Guardians of the Galaxy, of where you feel like you could look at just 1 or 2 aliens, but somehow they managed to make you feel like, oh, there's a whole race and there's a whole population of these people, and then there are these people, and they all have like different culture and diversity and so on. So I don't know. I just never felt like it was a very interesting character. He doesn't talk, which doesn't help him, I think.
He's just like Cortana.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's
No,
just
he does sort of talk now.
he
I
does.
guess.
Really?
Yeah, right?
Did he talk?
Well, yeah, he gives some verbiage, especially in 4.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more of it.
I finished it, but I don't remember him talking.
Guess it's not very memorable.
Yeah, that says something about the character. You don't remember that he talked.
Yeah, I don't remember. I thought he didn't talk at all. I don't know. I just generally think he's not a particularly exciting character. I always thought, generally speaking, even just the whole idea of Master Chief should just be like a role, and then you should have different people become the Master Chief. So it's like a class, right? Like once you have some soldier reaches the level of a Master Chief, and then you have a couple of games exploring that character. Then you go off to, let's say he dies or relinquishes the role of Master Chief, and somebody else takes on that role. Special
shout out to Jack, aka Raiden, from Metal Gear as well. He's super cool.
Okay.
Special shout out to Wheatley from Portal 2. I like that narrator was a really good time and well spoken. It's interesting that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the most special shout outs ever to the Squid from Splatoon.
Oh God.
I know he's not here yet, but once he is,
one day we
will
already
fall in love with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting that we haven't like. What people kind of deem the big game characters, the Call of Duty mainstays, the assassins, we don't even feel.
I really don't think the only characters out of the big, I don't think that anybody's gonna name a Call of Duty character as their favorite.
I think a lot of people love Soap and Price.
Really?
I think the only one that people really loved is Ghost, like the guy with the mask and everything. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but who was he though? You don't know.
Yeah, I know, but this is
just dudes.
Yeah, I know, but you could say the same thing about Waluigi, Kirby, and Link. He's just a dude. It's a kid.
Well, yeah, but there's personality.
Really?
Waluigi shows on his sleeve who he is.
There is personality. Okay, what's Link's personality? To save
Savior.
I didn't mention Link.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like his personality.
Is
I think Waluigi has more personality than Link.
Yeah, he does.
What? No, what? How? Where? When?
Waluigi breaks rackets. He stomps his feet. Link just sort of looks in the sky at Navi or whoever.
Navi? Avatar? What?
No,
what's her name? Navi?
Yeah, it is Navi from Ocarina of Time. He's right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hey!
I thought that was an Avatar reference. Hey,
no. It is Navi. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Man, but how can you say that Waluigi has more personality than Link?
What personality does Link have?
What is Link? Tell me. Okay, here, sell me on Link. Here's the Link TV show. You're pitching it. It's going to start.
No, there was a Link TV show.
Now, by the way, don't forget this. Right away, there's a big thing you have to get over. The fact that everybody thinks his name is Zelda. Okay?
Nobody thinks that.
Oh, a lot of people do.
You want to bet me that the
people
average
think
person?
That?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a poster right there that has like a sad Link that says, "I'm not Zelda." Right.
Dude, is there any way you can flip the camera over? I'm sorry, I've never.
Can you see it right there?
Yep.
Oh. I just have a soft spot for Link, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's probably because your adventures with him and as him were super memorable, but him is he memorable? I mean, that's also a thing with games. Like, a character can be great because you have fun with that character, not just because they are like personable or they, really suave or charming. Link can be great because you were Link and had good times with him. I just think from like a who is Link standpoint, he's like a psycho boy that leaves home at 10 years old. His parents don't care about him.
And he time travels. And, all right, sure. Ganon has personality. It's not a good personality, but he has it.
His laugh.
Right? Yeah. He's evil.
I mean, Link is pretty fierce. That sword stab in Wind Waker is quite the
He's just I don't know. He's not really a character that I'm ever like. That's a really cool character. Like you can make him cool, like based on your experience, but he doesn't have any like his characterization is I'm gonna save her. That's it. Like that's it.
No, he's saving Hyrule, not just Zelda.
Okay, I'm gonna save Hyrule. Like that. His characterization.
The world, Max. The world.
Sure.
Max just has it out for Zelda. He didn't like Link to the Past when Gabe brought that up back in the best games of all time episode. Predicting Zelda would get delayed. Now he's hating on Link.
I'm going to represent the Game Riot opinion.
There you go.
Somebody has to hold it up.
Reference.
Right?
It's all good.
What about oh god, I had a really big character in my head that Gordon Freeman. Any love for that universe? Alex, Gordon Freeman, the Half-Life.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff, but I'm just mad. Like, if we're never gonna get another game, like
ever.
Yeah, like I don't know. And he's also silent. He doesn't speak. So just like you said.
Yeah. So for me, same thing. I don't know. I just never.
Cool crowbar, bro.
Never really like resonated with me, that character. So again, it's one of those things that I think there's like a personal preference. Like when did you play Half-Life and how much did you really like enjoy that game? You know what I mean? Because I think if it was a big eventful game in your life, then that character is going to be very important to you. So I think that's.
Do you think we're in an era where like great characters are harder and harder to come by because we get so many reused properties, so many Marios and Zeldas and GTAs and Assassins that most of the characters we mentioned today are from a ways back. I mean, aside from the Mass Effect stuff, I guess, and the Bioshock stuff.
No, well, and the Last of Us, and The Walking Dead, and
do you see
there's a good number.
Uncharted, Mass Effect, Bioshock. I mean, we named characters from like the last 10 years.
Going forward, do you see anybody that you think you could? I just look forward and I'm like, well, we got Adam Jensen, we got Lara Croft, we got Master Chief, we got Nathan Drake, we got Link, we got Faith.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, but I mean, like. I don't know, like, first of all, we haven't really received a lot of new IP as it is, like we've talked about that. I don't know that there has been a game that has had, like, a character-driven experience, you know what I mean? Like, the Bloodborne Hunter, like, even though that game is so highly rated and everything, but it's your character. Like, he doesn't have characterization specifically to him. It's how you played and... You know what I mean?
I guess the question is like, are these characters from the past great because they were great characters, or just because they're
nostalgia?
Well, or more just like because they're used. Like, are we not getting new favorite characters because they can't make them, or because we're just getting a recycling of the like? Why are all of the best characters seemingly from the same era?
They're not though, dude. Like we just mentioned all of them.
Yeah, we just
and they're all
characters
fairly
from different.
Like Joe and Ellie and The Walking Dead. You have Clementine and Lee. Like these are all new. Like they're still coming. Maybe they're not coming as often.
New, right?
Yeah, like like
the last 7 years.
All these are very recent. Like I think it's unfair to say that all the characters.
I just think like a lot of games are going the way of making you feel like the awesome person, and therefore the character as the awesome guy or girl. Maybe
I know what you're saying. I think that there's
away.
definitely a trend towards more like you make your character. You know, like there's definitely a trend towards you create your own character and make them be how you see fit. That's definitely happening. But I think with that in mind, there's also the Batman game that comes out. There's The Witcher that comes out. So it's like if you want a character-driven experience, I think that's still there. You just have to specifically look for that, right? Like, for example, the Arkham Knight game explores the character of Batman and Arkham and the villains and so on and so forth. So there is still character-driven. It just may be a lot of those experiences are either based on previous characters or on existing IP from the world, right?
Sure.
Like,
And I know you guys don't play
Star Wars or something.
this, but GTA, Trevor is as memorable as you get for characters. Trevor is insane. So, I'm wondering what are other people's favorite characters. Like, they should let us know in the comments or by sending in an email to can'tstopasking@gmail.com. And
For sure. Give us some reason why that guy or girl or monkey or squid or blob.
Claw.
Yeah, or Claw.
Is Claw a cat? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Claw is a great cat. I just think, like, in wrap up, like, you think about the games announced, most of them are The Division. So, like, that's not going to generate a major character. Is there a major story-driven game on the horizon? The only one I can think of is Quantum Break, and that's been pushed back, that has a new character. Like
a new one?
A new character in a story-driven game that's not like even Project Horizon, the thing from Guerrilla that sounds great, that might be announced at E3, maybe even releasing. That's going to be an open world, multiplayer, whatever fest. So I don't project that having a.
Yeah. See, but there's going to be new characters in Tomb Raider. There's going to be new characters in even Deus Ex and.
Sure, but where's our next?
Halo. We have that. Halo, we have that one guy. What's his name? Is his name Locke?
But you see, even with like when we say memorable characters, like for example, Far Cry had pretty memorable villains. The last two of them, right? Like Voss and the.
But where's the next Mario or Snake or Lara Croft coming from?
Well, Splatoon maybe.
Or Ori. We got Ori.
But I'm talking about someone that like transcends generations.
Yeah. Well,
that's rare, dude.
Franchise, right? Like, look, let's put it this way: we got Nathan Drake, right? Like from last year. I mean, like from last generation. This generation, I don't think maybe we have had a game like that yet, but we have had new characters introduced. It's just, I don't think, like, I agree with you that we have not gotten a game that is on that level of where we could say, okay, this has become a franchise that could sell like consoles and push consoles and so on. But to be fair, if we say that whole idea, I don't think Mario is nearly as powerful as we maybe think he is, because again, Mario Kart, Smash did not move units. Like everybody who's like been in gaming thought, okay, this is it. Like those are
they did for the based on the install base. It's like an insane attach rate.
Yeah, but they didn't.
It didn't get new people to play that, right? I mean, there's a reason why I think Nintendo is like so pushing heavily on Splatoon, because I think they realize that they need to get new characters.
Yeah, I don't know if there was someone named in Splatoon, because without a name, it's like you're Squid Girl, you're Squid Boy.
They'll have a name, won't they? In the single player?
You make your own character and take it from multiplayer to single player.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is the future. Is like it's going to be much more driven by, like you're not going to have maybe a memorable character to quote like Snake, but you will have your memorable character from Bloodborne. Like you're going to say, man, my hunter in Bloodborne was insane. Like we went through this and this and that and this. So it's like you will create the story of your character, Yeah,
and that's great. I just miss kind of. I think Life is Strange actually is the most recent example of a game that I don't think Max is going to go down or Chloe is one of my favorites, but they characterize well. Like you know who these people are, and they embody.
Well, all the Telltale games and those style of games, I think so far have done a great job of characterizing characters. In fact, more so, like I think it's interesting to see. Like Telltale do things like Borderlands where they make Handsome Jack a really in-depth character, because the Borderlands game didn't do that in my opinion. But the Telltale game is doing that. Like it's making you care about him. It's making you care about that world way more than the Borderlands game story do. So it's like it's really cool. I would like to see like Telltale maybe take on Halo and see what can they do with Halo? Like bring more characterization to Master Chief or the Covenant or so on and so forth. So yeah, memorable characters.
Lots of good characters. Give us someone that we can love forever, like Snake or Dixie Kong. In the meantime, we will travel to Hype City. It's a long journey all the way from Character Village to Hype City, but we will make that trip for you guys. Interesting times because.
What are we traveling in when we go to Hype City?
Train.
I'm picturing a train. Yeah, okay.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
All right.
Gabe, are you the conductor?
Choo-choo.
I'm the conductor.
Shoveling the coal and pulling the horn.
Yeah, that's me. All right, so let's all have a job. Does anybody know another job in train?
Who's the guy in the caboose like waving the newspaper like I'm off to Hype City? Is that me or Max?
I don't know.
That's you.
All right, I'll be the caboose boy.
Yeah, I'll just be the passenger.
All right.
There we go. Our epic train follows us to Hype City, where we find Gabe's greatest excitement with
two big releases for next week. By the way, let's mention that, right? Like we have
one.
Well, Mortal Kombat 10 and GTA on PC.
Okay, I'm only counting Mortal Kombat.
Dude, the GTA on PC.
Millions of people will count GTA, unfortunately.
No, and that's fine. But
I'm excited for GTA 5 actually, but I'll talk about that soon. Okay, go ahead. Talk about what you were gonna say. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Titan Souls because that's also coming next week.
Wow.
Nobody cares about that, but it's coming out next week too. The demo's great. Played through that. Hopefully, you're gonna get a code here soon. And yeah, I really want to get through that. Mortal Kombat, it's Mortal Kombat. I like it and everything, but and I've played through GTA 5 twice already, so yeah, Titan Souls. I like giving shout-outs to these smaller games that are really good. They're really, really outstanding games, and they don't get enough attention. So everybody check out Titan Souls. It's on Steam. It's also on PlayStation 4.
If you're not very good at games, don't check out Titan Souls.
Oh yeah, it's hard.
You'll hate it.
Yeah, you gotta be able to bring it as far as.
There's a reason why it has Souls in the title.
Exactly.
Souls has become its own genre of games now.
I think it's impressive. I played a lot of Axiom Verge and Ori this week, and those are demanding games. Demanding games. And it's interesting to see that they are. I would love to see sales figures. I did read this morning that the team behind Ori announced that it was profitable within the first week. They have 5 new ideas that they're looking at right now, and we'll be working on their next game soon.
And I know we're in Hype City, but I have a very quick question. How far are you in Axiom Verge?
I'm not. I'm where I was when I talked to you, so I got the glitch gun, and I'm guessing it gets way harder. I beat the next boss after getting that gun.
Yeah, the boss after that, it's a good boss. It's doable.
I just want to know, they always say, 75% of people don't finish games. With Ori, Axiom, and Titan Souls, how I want to see, a tracker of, where people just drop off. Even Bloodborne, where is
that would be interesting, actually,
point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, when is too much abuse?
Exactly.
Max, you played Axiom Verge?
Yeah, I started to play it. Yeah, it's cool. Again, I think it kind of like what we talked about last week. Again, I don't want to dwell on it for too long.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. It's interesting, how it's an old school throwback, and it's it's modern, but it's old school. You know what I mean? I can't explain. I feel like I'm playing an NES game, but at the same time, I understand that this couldn't work on an NES. You couldn't. It's modernized, but it's not. It's really hard to put into words, but it's a really weird experience where I feel like I'm playing Metroid or an old school game, but at the same time, a lot of the stuff they do is whoa, that's a cool idea, and it kind of surprises you. So pleasant surprise in that regard.
Awesome. All right, so somebody else, Hype, what's up?
I'm going to go and get back on my Splatoon bandwagon. I feel like we need more splooging for Splatoon to get that game out in the
don't say that word.
I was going to say, yeah, I think we should call the people who like Splatoon and play it Splatooners.
Splatooners?
Right. Yes. What do you guys think?
Splatooners, yeah.
I think
honestly, when Splatoon comes out, we need to do a limited edition T-shirt that's Splatooners Unite.
There you go.
It has a silhouette of a squid or something.
Now delete this so no one takes it from us. Send a letter to yourself right now, Max. Splatoon, it's a very interesting move by Nintendo because they're pouring a lot of effort, like you mentioned, Gabe, into a property that doesn't involve plumbers or Koopas, and that's a big deal. And they must think it's of high enough quality to do that. Everything that's come back from that game is that it's very fun. I hope it sells well. I think it's also one of the more important games of the summer because it's a new IP, and it's being surrounded by Batman and Witcher and Mortal Kombat. Great games in their own right, but a brand new thing, which is something we always clamor for, is coming. And it's not only a new IP, it is a new, for the most part, style of game. Paint the world in a shooter, in a multiplayer sense, is kind of a new idea, and I hope it holds up.
All right, here's the only thing about Splatoon, because I'm all for it. I'm not trying to kick.
You're gonna say it has no voice chat?
No, not just that. I don't necessarily.
I don't think that matters at all, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
that matters, but
how many people participate in random like just
No, I know,
chat versus
but
private. You can still chat with your friends.
Give me the option to have that built in there. Like, you know what I mean? It's a shooting game. It's a multiple. Look, let's be honest. That game is going to be driven by multiplayer. You know.
Yeah.
So as a result of that, it's like a basic function nowadays.
I mean, I just think Splatoon is the perfect breeding ground for a lot of vulgarity based on the concepts. Anyways,
sure. What I was gonna actually say is, I wish Nintendo were doing this with something else. Like, yes, be original, do something different, and yes, new IP, yes, but don't do it with kids and squids. Like, that's just so weird.
So Nintendo,
something more like mature, something.
No, not even mature, but like give us another like a big character. Like you said, why not? I'm not saying give us another Metroid game, but something that can be seen in the same light as Metroid. Like you can do a multiplayer shooter, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like paint and squids.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like it seems like every new game is about creating this play space for people to enjoy instead of defining a character and taking you on an adventure. Even Nintendo, who is the master of that with their stable of heroes, where are we getting the next one? When is Nintendo's cast going to expand to a new Amiibo that isn't Mario and Link? Will it ever? Are we past that point? I mean, Kratos is coming back. Marcus Phoenix is coming back. Like, gosh, give us somebody new.
I don't know. Again, I think we're getting new characters, maybe not on that scale. To be fair, I agree with that, but I also think that there still are memorable characters that we're getting.
Trace from Axiom Verge.
Plus, it's early in the generation. I think that, maybe when we're in year 4, I think at that point we're gonna see some new characters and memorable characters.
So that'll be that'll be next year, or.
No, next year's year 3. Yeah, so 2 years.
So it'll be episode 140-ish. We'll come back to characters.
Yeah.
But before Max goes, quick shout out to Enter the Gungeon, my indie.
Have you played it?
Yeah, I love it.
It's cool. I played it just last night.
Enter the Gungeon?
Yeah. Wait, is that not the one on PS Plus?
No, that's Tower of Guns.
Oh shit, no, my bad.
Enter of Gungeons. God, no, we're. Towers of Gungeons. This is a game that's like Binding of Isaac, but with guns. It's a heck of a lot of fun.
Okay, all right. So what's the one I played last night?
You played Tower of Guns, a procedural shooter.
Okay, yeah, that's what I played. What's the other one?
I feel like I've heard that a lot.
Enter the Gungeon is a game that's very much like Binding of Isaac, where you're dropped into a dungeon. There's evil bullets. Like, if it's a shotgunner, he's shaped like a shotgun shell. If he's a machine, anyways, and you acquire new guns, buy new stuff, fight bosses.
When's that out?
Later this year, but I played it at PAX East, and it was brilliant.
I want you to just say both those names back to back one more time.
Tower of Guns is out currently on PlayStation Plus for free.
No. Just the name.
Tower of Guns, Enter the Gungeon.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Dungeon, the idea is dungeon.
Yeah.
Advertising. Final thing I want to say on Splatoon, it's probably going to have the same problem as Evolve in terms of value.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm going to predict it right now.
It has single player.
I know, but watch. People are going to still say that it's supposed to be a $40 game.
And they won't say it about Rainbow Six because it's blood and gore.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So, nonetheless, my hype city, to my surprise, honestly, I'll tell you this. It's GTA 5 on PC. And the reason why I'm excited for it is because I think much more so because of the heists. I want to try those out. I think that'll be fun. And more so, I'm just excited about, playing it with where most of my friends want to play GTA. Most of my friends held off from buying GTA until this point. I don't really like the story for GTA and such, so I'm not going to be playing the single player most likely at all, because I've tried it before, didn't hook me, couldn't play it much. But online, I didn't have a chance to play it. So I feel like I'm hoping that the online experience is really fun and creative and just a ton of fun to just mess around with my buddies running around and getting to play it on the PC, which is something exciting.
I don't know. I think you might find it hard to get into it. You say you don't want to, but you might have to play the story just a little bit. Well, they're going to force you at first. The first section, you have to do it. There's no getting around it.
What, like a 15-minute intro?
Yeah.
Okay. That's not
so bad. It's 15 minutes that you have to get through, and then after that, you have your phone. Then you can go online. But I know you don't like it, but I suggest playing just a little bit, get familiar with the mechanics, because going online, especially on PC, you're going to get absolutely demolished. You will not have a good time. You got to learn how the game works first.
People haven't played it on PC yet.
Yeah, but they played it on twice on consoles, so they know what they're doing.
I played it a little bit on console. Like I put like probably 2
Max
hours.
is just running around with his arms like up in the
Yeah.
air, like what?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I know how to play games.
No, I know that, but I'm telling you, like these people will have so many like just small techniques down packed, like the rolling and the shooting right after. Like there's a lot of stuff that I suggest you play first. If
But I'm gonna be playing predominantly with friends, so.
Oh sure.
Yeah, so it's like I don't know. I think all of us are gonna be kind of newbie. Most of us, at least. Only one of my friends has played it like twice. No, 3 times he completed it. So other than that, I think it's gonna be pretty fun and exciting. But yeah, again, I honestly was even surprised myself that I'm excited for it. I preloaded it on Steam and everything, so I'm ready to rock. It was huge, 60 gigabyte file, which is insane.
Yeah.
The other 2 things I want to mention quick. That's my Marvel and my superhero love coming through for Hype City. You know, we moved into the GTA like little diner, and then now there's another hype little moment here, and that is going to be Daredevil on Netflix, which is exciting. The reviews for the show have been incredible. Like people are saying that this is an amazing show. People are saying like this is not just a good like superhero show. It's a good show. Like it's going to be on par with the House of Cards, the Game of Thrones of this world, so on and so forth, like being a really well written and well acted show. So that's really exciting. Looking forward to that. And then the other thing I'm pumped for.
Don't say it because we're gonna talk about it on emails. I know what you're gonna say.
Okay. If we have an email about that?
Emails.
The movie, right? The movie?
Yes.
Starting off with this one, definitely send your questions, comments, advice, desires to can'tstopasking@gmail.com. Lots of good emails as always this week. Congrats to you guys for sending them in. Topaz writes in saying, guys, on the scale of Bloodborne to Box Boy, how do you rate your excitement for Avengers Age of Ultron?
It's 20 Box Boys.
Wait, which way are we supposed to go?
I think those are both amazing to me. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's great no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's hard to decide which way do I go. I honestly can't wait.
Max, on the scale of Link to Snake, how excited are you for Age of Ultron?
Yeah, there you go.
I am Snake, like big boss, like as far as possible towards excitement for. Yeah, I seriously can't wait for this movie. I'm trying to like not overhype myself because I'm worried that it'll get to the point where like it won't live up to how excited I am. You know, that's the only concern. So it's like as I watch, like we just got the final trailer. The final trailer has been released before the movie comes out, and once again, amazing, spectacular. A lot of interesting little tidbits in there that have people questioning and kind of thinking about ideas in terms of like maybe Black Widow is the one that ends up going away.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of emphasis on her this go around, so that makes it seem like just maybe she might bite the dust.
That's been the rumor. Then again, she was announced to be in Captain America, so again maybe they did that to not spoil the death. So who knows? It's definitely exciting and interesting. There's even rumors that she may end up being Captain Marvel. That's been a thing that's been talked about.
I don't think that's happening.
So they're going to remove Carol
There's
Danvers.
a rumor that they have a Captain Marvel actress already signed up. They're just not saying who.
Yeah,
I think superhero movies are the only time people get so freaking either crazy excited or bent out of shape about like who this person's going to play or what actor, what actress. It's like I almost think that the hype of these movies is more enjoyable than the actual movie. Like predicting what's going to happen, imagining which characters are going to go to battle, seeing the posters, like all of that, and then you see the movie. I don't know. Like
I don't know.
It has so much to live up to for
the last superhero movie that
fans.
Disappointed me is Amazing Spider-Man 2, and you love that piece of crap for some reason. Like that movie is garbage, and
the
you
only good superhero movie I've seen in the last few years.
All right, whatever. Move on. All right.
Let's terrorize another love property. Edward writes in about Jurassic Park and says he's excited for a Jurassic Park movie, Jurassic World, the Lego game. But what if they made a real Jurassic Park game where either you followed the movie or sort of like a Zoo Tycoon type game where you got to build up the park and pick the dinosaurs and prevent catastrophe, almost SimCity style? Would you guys be into that?
That'd be cool. I thought he was going to say what would happen if they actually made a real Jurassic Park.
That's the real question. Would you go to the real Jurassic Park?
I would probably. I'm one of those people like I'm terrified of skydiving. I went skiing a few times, and even then I was like, this is getting a little bit too steep.
You ever bungee jump?
No,
I've bungee jumped. It's fun.
Yeah,
Really?
I'll never do that.
Yeah.
Was it like off of a bridge or
So
off
you
of
see, this is a man that's scared of ketchup, but he's not scared to bungee jump.
No,
Would you bungee
yeah.
jump into a tub of ketchup?
Oh, get out of here! No, there was. We were where I bungee jumped. There was this fair in town, and they had this like giant tower. It's probably like 200 feet. I don't know how many actual feet it was, but yeah, we got out there. Yeah, it was really tall. You know, there's a big like soft cushion, like in case it snaps. Hopefully, it doesn't snap, and you're fine. It didn't snap. You just bungee jump, and that's it. Like you just bounce up a couple times, and you're fine.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that big a deal.
Back to Jurassic Park, though.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Lego Jurassic Park. So I mean, Jurassic World. So it's gonna kind of explore that. So, but it's obviously Lego-fied. So would we want like a more like obviously like I guess character
a shooter
models
or something?
yeah. I don't know. I think we've gotten some of those. Like, remember that Primal something? Primal Carnage?
You mean Primal Rage?
I don't remember.
Primal Rage. I love that game. What a throwback. Have you played Primal Rage?
Yeah, I have.
The
Yeah.
Super Nintendo game. Oh my god.
There's been games that
Vertigo. That's my dude.
Does anybody remember the Jurassic Park game I played it on Sega. I think it was also for Super Nintendo, where you have that electricity gun and you're over there just hitting the raptors. The cage keeps messing you up. That electrified cage where that kid falls in the movie. You know what I'm talking about, right?
How about the game at Chuck E. Cheese where you're shooting the dinos, the Jurassic Park, and then you fight the
Wasn't
at
there
the
Telltale Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was garbage.
Yeah, so but you see, like I think that there's been so many Jurassic Park games, so it's like or imitators or like close to the whole like Dinosaur Hunter or like there was that game on
Turok.
Steam.
What happened to Turok?
Turok too. Yeah, I mean there's been I think Jurassic Park and World games. I think the only one that's like the unique one is like what he said, like Zoo Tycoon kind of style, like where you build the park. But again, I don't know how much like would you want to run a park for just dinosaurs? Like I don't know, maybe it's fun.
It's like Viva Pinata, like raise the dinos, breed them, create new ones.
That could be. Listen, that game is really underrated. So
yeah.
Moving right along, Katarina, who I wanted to shout out because we messed up with her artwork, so we will feature it this week at the top of the episode. You've seen it, her fan art.
Amazing, thank you.
Fantastic. And she wrote in a long email, but just to summarize, basically talked about how we mentioned it, she feels we have some responsibility to kind of promote and put on a pedestal the things that we love and that are unique, and whether it's Ori or Box Boy or something like that, that YouTubers have a great position that they can champion these things and kind of bring about more of those properties that are original, are unique, instead of just playing the Destinies, Assassin's Creeds, and the Call of Duties. And she had a lot of good thoughts on it, but just want to give her a shout out.
But again, if that's what you enjoy, then that's what you enjoy. You know what I mean? Like you can't force yourself to like not like Destiny. You know?
No, but just that what do people cover mostly? A lot of YouTubers, we say we like Axiom Verge or Ori, but we're not, out there making videos. Leo writes in talking about box arts and wants to know, do we think that still in 2015 has an impact on sales? If you go to a store and see a sweet box art, he mentions like the Wii U cases are really attractive to him because they're a different color. They're usually white and more vibrant. Does box art play a role in how successful?
Wii U cases are white? They're blue.
No, the background for it, like on a Mario game.
Sorry. Yeah.
Like even Splinter Cell has a different background on Wii U or Arkham.
Yeah.
Do you think box art, does that play a significant role in sales, and does it impact how you choose games?
Not us because we're grown-ups, but for kids it definitely still does. Like a kid walks into GameStop, right? Like his parents take it into GameStop. He's been saying, "Hey, I want to get a new game," right? They don't know what they're going to go in there and get. So they're basically judging it off of box art. Like a 12-year-old, for the most part. Maybe I'm wrong. They're not looking up like review scores on IGN and stuff. Like they're either gonna play what their friends are playing at school, or they just go in there and get whatever. And the parent doesn't know. Like they just go in there and get what the kid tells them to buy. So I think box art plays a significant role in that. Maybe it's been diminished with the role of the internet now. And for me, it definitely doesn't matter. Like look at Bloodborne. Horrible box art.
I think for the general consumer, it definitely still plays a factor. I think the more hardcore audience knows better already than just to look. There's just too much information. You know what I mean? Like you're just exposed to too much stuff to just judge it based on what it looks like. But with that in mind, I think it's still very significant because, I mean, like, look, the guys at Naughty Dog had a hard time convincing putting Ellie on the cover, right? Like, so that obviously means that it's still a factor. It's still a consideration, and for what it's worth, I mean, a lot of the box art is starting to look the same. I
Oh,
mean,
I
it's
don't know if you
usually
saw
a
the
dude
picture.
with a
There's
gun. Yeah.
Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, and Destiny, all a dude
Yeah.
with a cape facing the other direction,
Yeah, it's the
holding two
exact same.
weapons.
Yeah, I saw that.
Same lines with Last of Us. They had a flip cover for Bioshock because they couldn't get Songbird and Elizabeth on the cover. They, marketing wanted Booker, guy with a gun. So yeah, it's important. I don't think it impacts me very much though.
Yeah.
Like Gabe said. Our final question of the day comes in from Will, and Will.
Will I am.
Will I am says thanks
Will
so much.
Arnett.
Oh, okay. Either way, Batman.
Yep.
Or Bill Gates. Thanks so much for the podcast. Without it, I wouldn't make it through high school every day. It helps me get through my most boring classes. I feel a little guilty that he's podcasting during school, but his question is a good one.
Thank you.
He wants to know, what do we think about esports? Do we ever watch or play any competitive games, or do we hope to get more into that?
All right. I'm sorry I always go first, but I feel like I have an instant thought every time. Sorry.
Go for it. Good.
The only one I care about is Evo. When Evo comes around, I'm sitting there watching all of it, damn near. Like I'm a big fan of fighting games like being played at the highest level. Like the matches that go on there are insane. They're easy to follow along. It's not like Dota or League of Legends. Those things I've tried. I don't understand what's happening since I've never played those games. But Evo every year, it's a good time for me. I enjoy watching those.
Yeah. For me, I find it absolutely awesome and exciting because I feel like it's really cool to see this evolution of like a different type of sport. You know what I mean? One that's like, I guess, involves like more of like mental side of things and stuff like that. I love Evo. I'm not a huge player of fighting games. Like, I'm not really good at them or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I absolutely adore it. It's so much fun. It's just so exciting, and like it's crazy. Like when they get some sort of crazy combo, and I don't even know what's happening. Everybody's like, whoa!
The comeback moments, like
Yeah.
when Daigo or this other guy, what the hell's his name? I'm blanking out. Justin Wong, like when they do like the big stuff that they do, that they're famous for, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think I always want to get more into competitive gaming. I just don't seem to have the patience or time. But fighting games, to me, I understand them more, so I don't get like the League, StarCraft, Dota competitive thing at all. But like watching, fighting game matches where you can kind of more easily identify this is what's going on. This person's making a huge comeback. I like that. I was hoping Evolve would kind of do that.
I'm sorry, buddy.
It has like the right idea for it, but I'm curious. MOBAs obviously are kind of saturated. What will be the next game or next kind of franchise genre that they try to take competitive? Call of Duty, the numbers are declining. Halo seems like the numbers are declining. MOBA's where it's at right now, and that's awesome. It's just like, what will there be a new fighting game?
Are the Call of Duty numbers declining? Because this last one, it just happened like this last weekend. Was it not like really well?
It was really big, but there were numbers showing year over year it's going down.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. All right.
Yeah, but that's a specific game. It's not the genre. I think
No, for sure.
First-person shooters is gonna stick around.
Counter-Strike is doing great.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely going to be a thing. I think the next one is probably sports games, like more like maybe the FIFAs or something like that. Of course, those still have sometimes a lot of really silly technical issues, but I could totally see those taking off because they're simulating a sport. So
Right.
it's kind of easy to understand that could be one that could become an esport as a result of that.
Yeah.
There's always Splatoon. Splatoon
That's a
championship.
shooting game, right? That's a shooting game. So it's like,
Max,
I don't know. Is the question a specific game we think is going to be, or
no, just ask what we feel about esports.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's awesome. I'm excited. I think that stuff like Hearthstone right now kind of shows card games becoming a thing, like digital card games, which is awesome. I mean, look, their tournaments have been exceptionally successful, and that just entire user base is like growing and growing. And like honestly, I think Blizzard is and everybody who plays the game is surprised by how big it's gotten. Like what was it, like 20 million the last time they reported? Like 20 million players play Hearthstone. Like that's insane.
I think if they can get like a Left 4 Dead Evolve type thing right, I think that would be really cool because to me, a lot of the esports stuff has a very stale like environment around it, like Call of Duty or in war times, the MOBA maps, whatever. Maybe people like that, but if there would be a very themed game that could get somehow competitive, I think that would be super.
It's hard to do. I think it's hard to do like the asymmetrical thing because of the problem is like like when you do monster versus 4 players, it's difficult to do because how do you do it like competitively speaking? You know what I mean? Like I know you've competed in a couple, but it's tricky in terms of like who plays the monster, and it's like, you know, it's
how do you
little...
decide who goes first or which one picks the map? And
exactly.
if they can find a way to do like a competitive game of that, like 2 monsters versus 2 monsters, or I don't know, Left 4 Dead, 4 people hunting through the same level trying to reach a certain end goal and it's randomized or something.
Yeah. I mean,
that's another thing right there. Actually, you can't have esports be randomized. Like that's not the way they work. They need to be set so that these people can learn which way to go about doing things.
I think it'd be almost more exciting though if there was a flare of like.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lack of skill then, right? Yeah. Because it's going to be a lot more chance driven, which is more exciting, correct? But at the same time, you have the trickiness of when you're playing like an esport, like in Call of Duty, they always have like nicknames for areas, right? Like there'll be a red, blue bin or something, and they know that means that that's the red building with the blue stripe across it or something, like, you know what I mean? Like all teams have like
easy identifiers
and stuff like that. So it's tricky. I don't know. I think generally speaking, I think we're right in the early stages of esports, and I think that is going to be the most significant growth in the gaming as a whole, is I think the whole idea of esports. I think we see Korea and a lot of Asian countries adapt it more, like welcome it more with like open arms and put it on TV, and it's treated like a major event, you know? And I think here it's just not quite there, but I think maybe a few years from now, like 5-10 years from now, we're gonna have like the Call of Duty championships are gonna be on par with like, you know, big sporting events.
And I hear people echo what you say all the time of like, well, real sports are very defined rules and defined whatever, but you can't have a guy in Call of Duty, you know, slip on a slick surface. You can't have someone accidentally throw an interception because their hand got hit. You know, there are random elements in real sports that if they could somehow translate that, maybe not totally random, like go find the cookie this time. You know, like.
Well, I mean, there's random elements like that now, like
But your character, if you aim, you're aiming. If you run, you're running. Like there's no chance for the guy can't fall down or get affected by wind.
Well, no, but those are so like specific to real life. Like yes, wind, yes, getting hit, but grenades and you know.
But the most exciting moments of like football are those big moments, right? Like something out of the ordinary happens, not when they complete a 3-yard pass that they've practiced. Don't you think? Like like you're talking about the comebacks in fighting games. Like those are the moments that you remember. I guess
but those aren't
like a headshot or something. No, they're not random, but they're more. I don't know. Either way, I think we all agree esports are getting big, and we also agree that it's time to wrap up this week's episode. Next week, Mortal Kombat X, GTA 5 PC. Max sounds like he will be bringing that train to Hype City, and we are going to be doing another bonus episode, so stay tuned for that. A lot of you guys have requested that.
Are we telling them what it is?
All I'm going to say, guys, is that we are men with no fear.
Oh, okay, there we go. He said what it is. Let's not say it.
Except for Gabe, because he's scared of ketchup.
Yeah.
You gotta find that girl in England, and you guys.
Hey, Zach, you said you had this one email that you were gonna, that like you wanted to, that I was gonna. You said it wasn't gonna be what I thought it wasn't.
My email was that there's someone like you out there that's terrified of ketchup, and her life is stopped in its tracks, and she has to vacate the premises if it happens.
See, but people, I don't know why they put ketchup on the pedestal. It's also the other 2 or 3 condiments. I don't mess with any of them. But okay, all right, my bad. I thought that there was.
What he's trying to say is that if you're scared of mustard or mayo, please write in to can'tstopasking@gmail.
Let's start a support group out here.
For sure. And if you're listening on iTunes, come check it out on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, get it on iTunes. There are perks to both things. And if you want to review the show, we definitely appreciate that as well. We'll be reading one off at the top of every episode. We will see you guys next week. Follow us around the interwebs. Twitter.com/VolatileGabe for Gabe. Twitter.com/Blitzwinger for Max. Twitter.com/GhostRobo for myself. Final words, friends.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Boycott ketchup.
Boycott ketchup. Ketchup on 3. 1, 2, 3.